progress.
Welcome to EIPIP meeting number 123. This is a very good meeting number, and this is the first meeting for the year 2026. I'm sharing the link on chat right here. This is issue number 1886 on Ethereum PM GitHub repository. Let me quickly share my screen so we all can be on the same page. So on agenda, we have a few items for discussion and review. Starting from call for input, we do have a few items for editors discussion. There are some PRs which might need attention of editors, as well as we will get updates from the topics discussed in the earlier meetings. So kicking off this meeting with the call for input, I would like to invite Sam to maybe talk about these call for inputs and see if we can close some of them today.
Sure. So probably the most important one is number 400, force merge Fusaka status changes. So some of the authors haven't been replying. I just want to close out Fusaka. So please leave a comment on there. If we get everybody's comments, we don't need to wait until the deadline. So yeah, leave a comment.
There is an update on that. I managed to get to all editors and this PR is now closed. So I think we can perhaps close this call for input. Yeah, I mean.
Next up, we have Matt's call for input for adding an associate editor role. That's people who can merge PRs, but not they aren't counted for calls for input. The deadline for that is February 10th. Then if there's any discussion on that, we can talk about it. If not,
right. Yeah, I can see Joachim on the call here today. I wonder, Joachim, if you have any thoughts. I do not see your comment added here. So you can perhaps add it later, or if you have anything, you can share here as well.
Yeah, I mean, this looks reasonable to me. I will read it after. I will read this today, and I will also leave a comment on this today. But so far, this looks good, so I will leave a comment on this one. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sam, if I may just share my thoughts over here. I really do appreciate the idea of having associate editor, but I just want to have a clarity on this part. Like, are we continuing two different roles, EIP reviewer and EIP associate editor? If we are trying to merge them together, we can perhaps let the tooling team know about it. So that's my only not objection so far here, but something that I would like to be sorted off. So from my understanding, associate editor is the one who just helps EIP editor providing the EIP number. However, EIP reviewers, which we announced last year, and Joachim was also one of the reviewers who turned out to be editor at the end of the day, are the people who are actually reviewing these proposals. So my recommendation was that we should use the word EIP reviewer instead of associate editor. But I'm fine if people want to merge these two terms. Just want to have clarity so we can communicate it.
I think that's the idea is here that we want more people, as said, that people can add like these EIP numbers, but that they do not participate in the governance process. That's the idea, right?
No, allocation of EIP number is not a problem. Reviewing the EIPs are the challenge that we are trying to address here because there are close to 400 open PRs.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just reading the background again. That's exactly what I meant. So they just won't be eligible for formally voting on the governance matters, but they can edit the EIPs. Yeah, I mean this looks fine to me. Do we have like if we would accept this one? Do we already have like some candidates for this?
Okay. Yeah, so my understanding is as of now, we do have one individual who actually acts as associate editor and he just allocates number. But he isn't like a formal reviewer. He definitely provides editorial feedback. But I'm not very sure about do we have the candidate and will the process be any different from what we have got for reviewers? So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to get some clarity on. I mean, I see the due date is February 10, and we can perhaps get more input from more editors on this one. But I would be happy to see this broadly discussed because it also includes one of the um, EIP that would be changed with the help of this PR. So if we would want, we can perhaps bring it to Fellowship of Ethereum Magician. I did share my thoughts and concerns over here. Like I'm happy with the idea. It's just that I want the clarity on role of a reviewer or the associate editor. I do not see Matt on the call, so I'm not sure if we would be in a position to address it today. Yeah, I'm open to move forward unless anyone else has any final thought to add on this one.
I mean, we can call them EIP ballerinas. It doesn't matter really what we call them. It's just they get their names added in eipeditors.yml, and then they can approve pull requests, I think is the meat of this proposal.
Right. So in that case, like while we have already established a process of onboarding reviewer and the reviewer can eventually be an editor, again, I don't want to die on this hill, but would love to consider adding EIP reviewer because we already have a set of reviewers. Like if we look into this dashboard, we already are tracking reviewers. I just was hoping to get this idea that if we have to rename this one, or are there new set of people who are joining as associate editor?
So is your intent that these people in that list be added as associate, whatever this title is called, are those people going to be added to it?
I would love to hear the idea if there is a way of selection. I know this is going to be migration, and people on this list are already making contribution. Most of them are client devs, except this individual. Um, I would not mind if editors agree to the idea that let's move these people um, who are already doing the reviews as as people who can actually merge because they are doing review, they are already looking into PR, they just don't have permission to merge them.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, because I believe all of them are client dev except for this individual. But that's a call for editors. So my suggestion here was instead of using the term EIP associate editor, which is already defined as individual who just allocates number and nothing more than that, I'm fine with the idea if the associate editor is also added as reviewer. So now he would be in a position, if he's interested, he would be in a position to review and merge the PRs. But I want the term to be consistent so it does not create confusion in the community. All right, we don't have to make a decision today. Just wanted to share the idea so people can think a little bit more about it and we can come up with the appropriate wording. But I am pro on the idea of adding more people, providing more people the ability to merge the PRs. So moving on, we have now. Okay, I can perhaps talk about this one as well. So, call for input best place. I did not receive much response here. It seems only Sam has responded, and he is not in favor of moving it to the Ethereum PM repo. I agree with the idea, and I'm fine keeping it in the Eat Cat Herders repo. We do still have some time left. If any other editor would like to want to add their thoughts, which is different from whatever the sentiment is already, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we should be good to make a decision by the next meeting. All right, moving ahead, the last one over to you, Sam.
Yeah, this is just if somebody wants to make the pull requested changes, go for it. Otherwise, I'm just leaving it open so I don't forget to do it eventually.
Right. I know this has already passed the deadline, but yeah. Editors, please take a look at it. And if you have any response to this one, perhaps you can add it. So we
No,
can.
no, that one's closed.
It's
It's
already?
just yeah, it's closed.
It's
I'm just leaving it open until
okay.
somebody actually makes the pull request to change it. What is it? 10:0565. Okay.
Okay. So do we need to add this to EIP one? Yes, I'm seeing that you already have a PR for this one.
Yeah, it also needs to be added to EIPW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Makes sense. All right. Moving ahead. Next big thing is Fusaka EIP, as Sam mentioned. I have tried to of create a list of which all are pending right now. So we do have Fusaka Meta, which hasn't been moved. Fusaka Meta is dependent upon 7723. So I tried to pull out all the information. 7723 have, I believe, 3 open PRs right now. The first one is this one. This seems to be like a farming kind of PR because they have just removed this space with dash. So we can take a call and close it if needed. This is another PR which is open with respect to 7723. However, it seems like the individual was trying to add the definition of decline for inclusion, and that is already added in the present EIP right now. So we perhaps don't need this PR to go. And the last one is again seems to be related to again, yeah, it seems to be like kind of a spam PR, so not very sensible PR here. No, I think they have some sentence changes, so it might need author's attention. Yeah, right. So we have list. Okay, one last PR related to 7. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. The earlier one that I showed was for 7607, the first two here, which seems to be like one redundant and one related to farming. But the 7723 PRs are 1, 2, 3 there. This one is okay. So I find this a meaningful one. I would definitely love for author to take a look at it. It seems like we have mistakenly added statuses instead of stages. So as per my understanding, this is for network inclusion stages, and statuses are only draft, review, last call, and final. So I have just made this PR to update the wording. It should not be statuses, it should be stages. So definitely this requires editors as well as authors' attention here. So we are waiting for this to get closed. If with these two, we are left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PRs. Out of those 5, we already have received approval for 2 PRs. May require editors' approval only to merges to final. So this is for 7910, and we received approval from the author of the proposal. So it is only waiting on editor's approval. So either of the editor, if you can approve it, this can be merged. But this also means that we might have to close these 2 PR, which is 7910 related. Here author has left specific comment that that he doesn't want these PRs to be merged. So we can actually close these 2 simultaneously. Similarly, for this PR, this is to move it to the final status for EIP 7935. We have already received approval from both the authors here, just waiting on editor's approval, and this can be merged. With that done, we would still be waiting on 3 additional EIPs. I have listed out the issues here. We are waiting on author's response on that. Then only we will be in a position to move these proposals to final. I would like to take a pause here if anyone has any thought, ideas, anything else to suggest, like how we can proceed even faster. Please, yeah. All right. In that case, I would hope editors approve the other two PRs and we can get two more EIPs moved into the final status, and we'll wait. I will try to communicate with with the authors and try to um, get them merged as well. All right, moving ahead. Uh, not last week, this week, we had EIP editing office hour, and from that office hour, there were a few suggestions that came out. I have just added the AI notes here for reference, but I have also added these specific point that Gajendra, whom I do not see on the call right now. Yeah, he is not on the call, but he has left some ideas to be shared with Sam and other editors if this is possible. So while reviewing, we identified that some of the authors keep TBD instead of to do. And Gajendra educated us that to do is a marker that is read by bot and that stops from moving forward in the status of review. When it comes to in draft, it will pass but not in review. So the request here is like, can we have TBD also added next to do? So this is a question specific for Sam. Yeah.
So it's not that to-do blocks going into draft, it's comments. So it doesn't matter what you put inside of an HTML comment, it'll block it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the idea was like it is not readable. So what Gajendra did, some of the author wrote TBD and Gajendra suggested him to write to do instead of TBD because the understanding is to do can be read by the bot, not TBD.
Neither of them are read by the bot, is what I'm saying.
Okay, perfect in that case. Cool. So the next suggestion was to have a label of force merge or typo. As we have discussed in the past, that there are so many PRs that is being reviewed by him, but he isn't able to merge it, force merge it, and we always bring it to you or to Matt to get it merged. So he was requesting if there is a possibility of having the typo or force merge label, he can perhaps add it and it will add notification instead of tagging you all the time. I mean, either way is fine, but that's a suggestion.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah.
Okay. Moving ahead, there was a ping to editor, which he thought that may not be that valuable. I'm gonna open the PR here. He already merged it, but what he was trying to say that the bot should not ping editors. It should be merged by the author himself if the PR is done by the original author. So
Mhm.
that's some kind of bug. I just wanted to point it out, CI bug or something like that.
Yeah, so the review bot can't handle the case where only an asset is edited.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
been a limitation of the tool for years now.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So I'm wondering if we have any issues open for it that this is to be considered, or is it not possible to do it for a set?
No, it's possible. It's just none of us are
Okay.
like since PandaPip left, we don't
Uh,
have anybody who maintains the bot.
okay. Okay. Nevertheless, Sam, if you can create the PR, maybe we can use it. Oh, Mark is here. So I don't know, Mark, if you can perhaps take care of that. So if Sam, if you could open the issue, we would share it with the community and whoever have some expertise may, yeah, awesome. Thank you. May look into that. So there was this another PR which had linter issues. Okay, I already had a word with you, Sam. So we noticed the linter issue here, but you mentioned that it would not be blocking the PR, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this can be avoided as well. Cool. The next item is citation section removed from draft. This is not from the meeting. This is something that uh, is another topic for discussion that we would like to bring it in, maybe for editor's attention. I don't know if this is a tooling error or something that we should consider updating it. So when we look at this citation, this is not something filled by the author. It is done by the tools that we are using. But I noticed that this keeps this thing in draft. When I looked into other EIPs, everywhere it is mentioned in draft, irrespective of their status, if it is final, if it is living, or whatever it is. So I was just wondering, do we need to keep this draft thing, or
Oh,
can we
no,
update
that's
the
a bug.
tool? Yeah, so we can perhaps update it, and yeah, if we can update the tool, that can be removed.
Yeah, I'll open a bug about that.
Okay, perfect. All right, moving ahead. Next, we have these for reviews. I wouldn't want to go into each one of them one by one. Maybe editors can take a look at their convenience, but we just wanted to bring it to attention that most of them either would require um, force merge, or I think I see that. Okay, or maybe Sam's attention. Okay, you already have CFI for this one, right? Yes, 395. This is done. So maybe you can, or anybody can take a look at it later. So just listed some of the proposals which might require editor's attention or review here. There was a bunch of more. Why I'm not able to find them? Did I miss it? Looks like that. Okay, nevertheless, we will get back to it. Um, Moving ahead, updates on topic from earlier meetings. So yes, so the first one was grant more editors force merge permission. I don't know if we have any update, or is the idea of adding more editors with merging permission will help with this.
That's on me, and I just forgot.
No worries, then we can take it next week. Um, Best place for call for input we already have discussed, so we can skip that one. Network upgrade names. It seems, Sam, you are working on something that might help the tooling without adding any field. Is the idea to fetch it directly from the meta EIP, or is there
Yeah,
any
exactly.
alternate? Perfect. So we can perhaps mark this as closed. I don't know if we can close this in Fellowship of Ethereum Magician. We'll keep it there, but at least we can understand that this issue is resolved. I wondered, is there any timeline by when we can see this thing activated, or will it be activated with your new
It'll be
web?
on the new one. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We'll keep a note of that. Got it. So this was the next thing. Restructure and renaming it again came up from the last EIPIP meeting. It seems that there is not a strong support of the rebranding of EIPIP meeting as ACDG. So I believe the idea is we will continue having the EIPIP meeting, and maybe we can take out the inferences or any action items that we would like to share it with the core dev in the ACD meeting. I do not see much of editors response here. So if editors, because I understand this, the merge was basically to have editors say in the meeting, because ACD meeting is mostly client dev and editors do not participate actively. So if you have any thoughts, ideas on this one, please add them here. As of now, it looks like people do not have much interest in having ACDG. There could be a possibility of having a breakout room meeting in future for anything related. All right. The next one is again from EIP office hour, earlier EIP office hour. Okay, I think so that the suggestion from earlier EIP office hour was that we should have a placeholder where we can have some kind of guideline for EIP documentation, formats, test cases, and things like that, that new authors are always asking questions for. Excuse me. Excuse me. So for that, I have created this contributor.md that we discussed in the meeting back in October 2025. So this contributors dot, okay, sorry, there are two of them. Let me, so in October 2025, it was discussed that we should have Okay, I think I have mistakenly added both links to this one. Yeah, this is the one. So the idea was to have some kind of file which does not update EIP1 frequently, but that can be referenced from EIP1. So if needed, we can refer that to we fine. We can refer that to the community and to make this contributors guideline, Sam, I have taken heavily reference of your text that you have added for author's guideline. It was floating as a hackmd file. So I believe the contributor.md will give this a very good place where authors can find it easily. And yeah, this file currently contains information about how to do do's and don'ts for authors, just simple rules. Again, related to assets that sometimes create confusion. And there is another section which is for non-authors. Now there is idea of champions and other contributors, community contributors, which sometimes come up with PR. So this just lists like what are do's and don'ts for them. And we also have added a few guidelines for editors and reviewers who would be looking into it. So with this thing in mind, I have opened a PR with contributor.md, and that is PR number, this one. PR number 11124. And I have also made an associate PR in order to refer this contribution guideline in EIP1 along with few other tiny updates. So I would request editors to maybe take a look at these PRs, and if they have any suggestions, thoughts, or approval, please go ahead with that. I'll like to take a pause if anyone has to add anything. Okay, I'm looking at the comments. Cool, thank you.
I think we all like this. So this looks great. Yeah, love it.
All right, yeah. So kindly take a look at the text and yeah, if there are any fixes, maybe suggest that and we can approve and keep on updating. So with this, we can maintain contributor.md, but we would not have to update EIP1 as frequently. All right, moving ahead, peer analytics. We already have discussed about typo fixes in the previous meeting. It seems like we are getting an increased number of typo fixes. How many? 93 out of close to 400. Hundreds are typo fixes we are getting. We should definitely make some hard rules around typo fixes. Yeah, we need to deal with it. Next is a schedule for office hour.
Sorry, one question. Like, how are these type of fixes categorized? Like, is it just like a one-line change, or like what's a type of fix? Like, how does the bot, label
Yeah.
these?
So, I mean, for example, we can take this one. So this is also would be considered as like, sorry, let's get there. Let me see if he's actually suggesting something or is it a type of X? No, this is a suggestion. My bad. Let me go back to another PR here. Okay, so here in this commit, as we can see, this individual is suggesting just this one space replaced by hyphen. So this would be kind of considered as typo fixing or some update, and these type of PRs are increasing every passing day. So we have almost 100 open PRs like this.
Yeah, I know this is especially part of like this Airdrop farming.
Yes.
And the sentiment which we have about this, like I'm not really sure what I think about it because I don't really like these kind of things. But on the other hand, like spelling mistakes or these kind of things, they in the end they will improve the quality of the ERPs. So I'm not really sure what we should do here. But on the other hand, review. And maybe a more broad question is like, if you would like fast track these things, that's I think not something what we would want, because then we would get like an even larger influx of these things, like these typo fixes. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do here, but how because we can't really block these kind of things, because I mean they are in some way valid. Yeah, okay, that's a good suggestion by Sam. Like we basically would need a linter, I think, like a linter and a spell checker for the EIPs. That would indeed work. Yeah.
Yeah. So back in the day, we had Code Spell, and it did a fairly good job. But it's not perfect. It only does known incorrect spellings. It doesn't verify that every word is correctly spelled. So didn't catch everything. And there's a bug in their Docker container that, anyways, long story short, it caused problems. The new version of EIPW does have a spell checker built into it. It's just we haven't been able to deploy it yet.
Yes, Victor. And then Carson.
You are muted, Victor, if you are talking.
Yes. I think there are two aspects here. One is that the reason that we felt these are not so feeling is I agree with you. And partly I think why I think these are not good is because these are like trivial fixes that doesn't have the level of expectation when someone is considered a contributor to this repository. So I think one way to do it is actually we run a one-time fix of everything with, let's say, uh, spelling and code, and then AI. Just for anything that is trivial, let's just, if they are indeed trivial. The other level of the problem is actually credit and acknowledge, which is like we started to see one or another ERCs or EIPs, but not necessarily to the level that they're considered an author, because they might not be the major proposer or the person who contributes significant part of it. Maybe they like fix an error. Let's say if someone comes in and says this formula has an error, I think that's a valid contributions and should be included, but not necessarily considered an author for that. So I think it would be nice for us to, as an EIP editor group, to think about what is a meaningful way for authors to recognize contributions that's meaningful, but not necessarily author level. So these are my two comments.
Yeah, I think to comment on that, I think those are very good points. And maybe because you were talking about authors, maybe there are then two levels of authorship here. Is that even the right English word? Well, like we have the ERP authors, so these are like in the header of the ERP, and then we also have the well, the commit authors. And the question then is, I think in the end, like what would we consider, like if it is a typo fix? I think that the rough consensus there would be that we do not want to grant these EIP authorship, and maybe also not authorship of the commit itself. Or is this maybe not the thing you are thinking?
I think using commit author as a concept has its merit. I would probably let author decide who they explicitly credits as contributors, rather than fully depend on the commit history of authoring. Sometimes bot does that. So one thing I have been thinking about is maybe we should have a new metadata line in the header of a ERC or EIP says, in addition to author, there is a line of contributor, and an author can add them manually, either via GitHub handle or email address, just like they have in the authorship list. But that's one way. We could also have an acknowledgement section, but that's less metadata based. My personal feeling is that we should let author credit. We should give authors options to credit contributors.
Carson? You are on mute, Carson, if you are speaking.
No, I was just waiting to, yeah, I wasn't sure if you'd point me out. Anyway, yeah, no, I like those ideas because I think it's important to incentivize like participation in the project, right? Like that's how a lot of people get started with open source projects, is just making like doc fixes or spelling mistake fixes, things like that. But yeah, on the other hand, we don't want this to become like a distraction of a million little, fixes that they're farming for like reputation as formal authors. So I think the distinction between like big C contributor and little C contributor makes sense, or, having some kind of acknowledgement section. Like they should get something out of it, because especially when we fix like adding in spell checking back into it, right? Those kinds of things will disappear. So we still want little things fixed, but if they're not contributing meaningfully to the definition of an EIP, then yeah, we don't want them to like get the type of credit that infers that they did something that they actually didn't, right? So yeah, I think like an acknowledgement section or something like that would be really good.
Yeah, and that's I think like a very good idea. And then just to add on like this airdrop farming stuff, like these airdrop well, bots or whatever, how you want to call them, like who drop these airdrops, they will just look at the commit history. So what we could do here is, I think I really like this suggestion of adding contributors to the EIPs. But what we could do here, if there are like spelling fixes or typo fixes, or like we might have a suspicion of like airdrop farming, what we could do here is people could be added to the contributors field of the EIP, but we will just we will take this commit out, so they are not added to the Git history. But maybe this is like a good, yeah, exactly, yeah. This
I think that's like a fair balance to strike. Oh, and the other thing I was thinking was, since like you're talking about like the basically this being used for firing, so I'm assuming that a lot of these fixes are coming from the same probably couple of people who have kind of automated this kind of thing. In the near term, we could like just request that they combine any like any of the proposed changes into a single pull request, rather than having like multiples, right? If they're kind of doing it to like, up their numbers or whatever. I'm not sure if that's an issue here though.
Yeah, but likely if it is like a bot or like a team, what they will just do is they will create multiple GitHub accounts, and then they will say, no, they are like different people. So that we would not be able to combine those. But yeah, I like the general idea of that, to combine these in one PR. Yeah.
Yes, Sam?
So we should not give two shits about airdrops and airdrop farmers. It's outside our process. People will use whatever stupid ways they want to assign like tokens to people. We should not care about that at all. We shouldn't change our workflows. We shouldn't make ourselves do anything. Like even if it's just changing the commit author, that's too much work to deal with airdrops. I don't care. We used to get people to combine their spelling mistake things, but we changed it to do it separately because if like 10 different like proposals are all edited in the same pull request, you need to get 10 different author approvals to get that pull request merged, and then it just sits around forever. So it's kind of a trade-off. If we're just going to be force merging them anyways, it doesn't really matter too much, but that is why they're split right now. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to reply to there.
And I would like to bring one other issue that generally increases the number are this kind of typo fixes. Like this is fixed grammatical typo means I'm using the word typo, but that also covers some kind of grammatical or formatting issues. So for example, here, this is for EIP 5. Now EIP 5 has been finalized and according to the process, it has to wait for author's approval, and author may not respond because they may not find it that significant to come back and respond to these two changes here. Like we added S, it was missing here, and I don't know, there was something else here. So for these types of PRs, they will also increase the number. I wonder if this can be just taken care by bot, might be helpful to decrease our present open PR numbers. All right, we definitely need to think a little bit more about it. Maybe we can give ourselves some time to think more and maybe write down some more concrete words in here. Bot can handle merging. Yeah, I mean, of course not, but here's the thing, like if more editors or reviewers may have this merging power, or if this can be tagged, just like Gajendra suggested, we can have a label and use it, then it will be easier for people who have permissions to merge it, force merge it, may be able to do it at one go. I have tried to put together some text here in which like we are just trying to suggest these non-authors in contributors contribute.md guideline. We can perhaps enhance this guideline even more, like what kind of typo would be acceptable and what not would be acceptable. And I hope that this might help us in future when we start sharing this information with people. Then if they are making PR for typo or grammar or style correction, they would know what things can be added in here. I mean, that's just one possible way of helping us in long run. Okay, yeah, I realized what I missed in the agenda item. So I wanted to quickly check on these kind of PRs. So Gajendra could not review these PRs, and he requested Sam's review. So Sam, I wanted to list them. Maybe I can do it after the meeting. I will add it for reference so it can be reviewed. So there are some this kind of like dependency which is there on files and up on our website where two or more editors approvals are required. So we do have these kind of PS as well. Wondering how do we address this?
Yeah, I mean, we should just review them. I think it's just a lot of us don't have Jekyll knowledge, so I don't know for this one in particular who's going to review it.
All right, yeah. Yeah, as we can see that there are a bunch of them with this kind of PR. So we are just trying to like segregate the types of PR, so we should be able to handle them independently, and hopefully we'll be able to decrease the number of open PRs one day. Well, that's pretty much on agenda. I would request editors to maybe take a look at the sheet, and if you are available, please allocate yourself the new date and time for office hour. It is very helpful for the community to know that in advance, because when we have the agenda created in advance, they come back and add their PRs for review, and they are always looking forward to have a word with editors so they know what they are doing wrong, and they get their proposals reviewed. So please take out time, add your comments, and we can take it from there. And I think that's pretty much on it. On January Insight, wow, we have made 9 new EIPs, 3 new ERCs. And yes, we have moved 5, and we are hoping to move more on final status. This is pretty good. I mean, like, wow, we already have 44 EIP reviewed by Sam in January. Good. Thank you so much, Sam, and Victor and Gajendra and everyone else who are reviewing these PRs. This definitely will help us get to a better place. That's pretty much for today's agenda. If anyone has anything to bring up. please feel free. We still have some time.
Yeah, I wanted to just take a note that I have not been able to review much of these so far, but I'm really trying to also to catch up and to get back to, well, the time when I was not an editor yet, but to get back to that phase. Just wanted to let everyone know that.
And yes, you are also slated for next office hours. So yeah, we are looking forward to have proposals reviewed by you.
Yes, next week it has to happen.
Right. All right. Anything else for today? If not, then perhaps we can wrap up early. See you all in the next meeting on February 17th at 1600 UTC. Thank you everyone for joining us here today.